Oh, I said less than 1 gigabyte though. Oh, it should be okay.
All right.
Is my audio still okay? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can still hear
Okay.
you.
Well, welcome to the Shoegaze 93 channel, the channel that proudly celebrates itself. And today I'm happy to welcome one of my viewers, Cameron. Um,
Hey,
one of-
hey.
yeah, really great to meet you. And thank you for supporting the channel for so long.
Yeah, no worries. Do-do-do.
Yeah, so we can talk about anything really. It's quite open ended. I don't really have a plan so much, but I would like to hear about that Levitation Festival and your experiences when you've been there.
Yeah, my wife and I actually did it as a anniversary trip. So it's just sort of all, like basically kismet.
Yeah,
You wanted photos from somebody for it. I just wanted to like go.
yeah,
And my wife wanted to take a trip for our anniversary, so we were like there were bands she
yeah.
wanted to see that were playing, so we did that. Like I have a bunch of photos from seeing the OCs like
Yeah,
standing on the side of the stage to not so I might, didn't have to deal with people slamming into me or anything.
yeah.
Um so yeah, I mean, it worked out. It was a little hectic, and I wish that sort of things were explained a little bit better because we got the sort of fancy tickets, the all access, which
Mm,
for some weird reason didn't cover the swirly show.
mm. Yeah, that's a bit strange.
So we luckily somehow managed in trading a bag of corn chips to one of the door people to get in
Wow. Wow, that's
because
some strange deals.
yeah, the show was sold out, and so we were like, oh crap. And it was like really for me was the one thing that I really wanted to see because
Mm,
I had lived in Boston for over 20 years,
mm.
and I caught the tail end of one of their sets. um, like the last half of like the last song they were playing. Basically, they were opening for, I think it was Chapter House when they were doing the reunion, and that was like the
Mm.
only time that I saw them while I was living in Boston, even
But
though they played sort of regularly, and I just never
mm,
heard about it till like 2 days after the show. And people were like, "Oh, I should have told you," and it was like, ugh.
yeah. Yeah, that
So
must have been 2010. That was when Chapter House were back.
yeah, I think it was about around then. So I mean that was cool. So I really enjoyed that show, although I had forgotten. My wife and I both forgot to get earplugs, and that
Mm.
was hands down the like sort of loudest thing that was there, and it was really dumb because I've seen them like
Mm.
20, 30 times, like way back when. And I was like, these guys are probably responsible for like large chunks of my hearing loss.
Yeah.
Um,
It's,
and I
it's,
think,
it's the high end, isn't it?
yeah,
The high
it's just
frequencies.
it's totally shot. I've gone in for like ear exams, and they're like, "Can you hear this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No." And so the next time I go in for one, they're definitely going to try to give me hearing aids.
Yeah, that's a big good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, you never know, do you, until you turn up to these shows usually. Like
yeah,
uh, Swerve Driver, I think they've probably been the loudest band I've seen so far in my music gigging career history. When they played in Leicester, like in the Midlands of England, they played in a small bar and Dryden Street it was called, and it was just like yeah, a really small place, and they were just crushing it. Like I was stood next to the PA. To be fair, I was very close to the PA, but still, yeah, they cranked it up big time. They cranked.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I think the loudest show I've been to, as far as like probably decibel level, would be think it was, yeah, it was in '89. It was Dinosaur Jr. at this
Well,
place called Toad's Club in New Haven, Connecticut. And it was so loud that like I actually got dizzy from how loud it was. It was like you could see people starting to get vertigo that were close. And I was just like, I don't think I could hear a conversation for about a month after that show.
yeah,
I feel really dumb. I was like, I could have stuffed toilet paper in my ears and it would have been better. But it
yeah.
was just like I got that spot and it was like, I'm not moving.
Mm.
And there was just bad news.
Yeah, those guys have a reputation of being loud, Dino Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was
So
wondering. I was wondering if they were, if either them or Jay Mascis solo would be the special guest for MBV on the UK and Ireland tour. I
that
think
that
I
would be cool.
I think it would totally make sense because Jay and Kevin are best mates.
Yeah,
This
that was a strange sort of development. I like
yeah.
sort of started seeing like videos with the two of them
Mm,
together.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna put out an album together. And it's like, nope,
Yeah.
it's just
Wow.
they're like,
That would be something.
yeah, they're just bros that hang out all the time, which is cool. I wish it would lead to something musically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Shields did an album with Brian Eno.
Yeah.
Um, and
Something.
I've found it in a couple of places like online, but I have never seen a physical copy of it anywhere.
No. No, I've never seen a physical copy of that.
I know they existed though, apparently, because I've seen them like listed in places that claim they're like a thing.
Wow. Yeah, I bet their value is so high.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
think I don't
sure.
I don't think I've actually heard them actually. I never even heard them online.
Yeah, I think you can find it. I think I found it on YouTube,
Right.
like just
Yeah.
randomly.
Because
One day I was just sort of like looking stuff up, and it just popped up in my feed, and I was like, okay.
right,
So
yeah,
yeah,
okay. Oh, well, I'll check it. I'll try and check it out again. Yeah. I'll try and find it on YouTube. And yeah, the only sort of post MBV work I know of his is obviously he did a couple of tracks with Curve. On the Gift album, there was a couple of tracks he played on. A song called
he,
Perish,
he
song called Perish, which was good. And he did the soundtrack for what's the film?
Lost in Translation,
Yeah, yeah, the City Girl, I think was the song.
City Girl, and then
And
there's one that's more like ambient synthesizer. I think
yeah,
I
and
want
they
to say that's what it was. I forget what that one was called.
it could be synth,
Um,
it could be guitar. Yeah, you never know.
but he there is a I've found a couple of his albums probably also on YouTube. That seems to be the place where you can find like these sorts of things.
Yeah,
But they were just walls of guitar feedback, which I
nice.
kind of
Yeah,
I really enjoy, but like I don't.
Lou
They
Reed's
definitely were probably better.
metal machine music,
Yeah,
basically like that.
yeah. I mean that's kind of some of the stuff that I got really into when I was a kid.
Mm.
You know,
Those long Sonic Youth jams. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
speaking of Sonic Youth, sorry to interrupt, but I saw that Sonic Youth teased something, didn't they? The Washing Machine album with the 2026 written on it. They actually teased. Some people are thinking it's a reunion. Some people are saying it's a release, a re-release.
Re-release. It could be.
It's
I
more
mean,
likely to be re-release because I think Kim and Thurston they broke up in a really bad way. I think, didn't they? It was quite sour. So
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
can't I
They
can't I can't
definitely
imagine them on stage together. I can't see it.
no, but I mean, they probably have to be civil to each other, and Sonic Youth definitely became sort of like. Um, I'm trying to think of when I kind of stopped listening to them. I feel like it was the album after Goo.
Oh,
So
that's
I sort
dirty.
yeah
Yeah, the
that
Butch Vig produced one.
yeah I
Yeah.
just they just kind of like lost me after that, and then they sort of got apparently back into like weird, much more experimental stuff
Mm,
where they have 4 albums that are basically like just straight up guitar noise.
yeah. Well,
that
that the Washing Machine album, I don't know if that's the official name for it, but people kind of nickname it that, and it's got that Under the Diamond Sea song, which is that's a masterpiece. I mean, it starts off like accessible, like it's got real verses, and then it goes into the noise at the end and builds up. It's kind of their own noise section, kind of their own version of "You Made Me Realize."
they live would just in the middle of the song take 10 minutes to like just get into like guitar noise
Man,
and
imagine
weird.
that. And then next year,
Yeah,
if you got MBV, Sonic Youth, and Dinosaur Jr. on one bill,
that would be
that would be some show. That would be a nut show.
yeah. I mean, I've seen some weird shows. So I saw Swerve Driver, Lush, and Jane's Addiction. And
Yeah.
I didn't know who was opening for it. I just was like, oh, cool. I'll go see Jane's Addiction. Like I saw them. I want to say in like '87. I was like 13 or like at the time. And it was one of those like I snuck out of the house, climbed out the window sort of deals, and then hitchhiked and got to this show. It was like really early show, and I was like, these guys are ridiculous.
Mm.
So I was like kind of
Yeah,
punk
they're
rock
good.
mixed with like glam, and then
Bit of funk as
like
well.
yeah.
Yeah, they're cool bands. Yeah. Uh,
Um, so I was like, cool, I'll go see them. Like they always put on a fun show, even if they're like junked out of their mind and they fall off the
Yeah,
stage or not off.
yeah.
And it just so happened at this venue, the 2 opening bands were Swerve Driver and Lush.
Mm. It's a bit of a
And
funny mix.
yeah, I mean, like Swerve Driver, people were into it, but they were like the opening band at that point.
Mm.
And so it was cool. I was like, oh, cool. And then Lush went on and stuff got weird.
Yeah, I can
Like
imagine Lush being the odd one out there. Yeah.
everybody's hopping, like sort of like doing that pogo thing. And somehow people ended up upside down,
Wow.
stuck. And you just saw legs bouncing up over people's heads.
That's crazy.
And about halfway through
kind,
it,
kind,
it
kind,
got,
kind of like ironic moshing because I can't
yeah,
imagine people moshing really that hard to Lush. They're too dream pop.
it was very weird. And
Yeah.
then it basically started raining from all of the sweat and
Oh,
humidity. And they had the doors closed because people kept trying to
yeah.
sneak in. And the AC at some point just stopped working or just couldn't compete with that. So, like, it was just water droplets were coming down from like all
Yeah. Well, I guess
it.
Lush and Swerve Driver are used to that. They're British bands, so we're always used to the rain.
Just maybe not inside from people's
Inside.
sweat.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so to get back to the whole levitation thing,
Yeah.
sorry about that. Like,
No, it's fun. It was
sidetracking.
funny. I liked it. I liked the story. It was funny.
Um,
Yeah, if you could give us a lowdown of what you thought of the 2024 festival, just like give us a review of like each band that you saw. That'd be cool.
um, so I really liked Allison's Halo set, but we somehow managed in like only catching 2/3 of it because my wife decided to get in an argument with security
Okay.
over a bag that like they had given her. So it was just
Mm.
like these free levitation festival like
All right.
tote bags.
Yeah.
And the venue was like,
The
we're not
guards
gonna
being
let,
dicks.
and she was like, dude, you guys gave this to me. And
Yeah.
they were like, eventually they let her, and she was just like, you go in and get in. And after, like you get frisked, that was a little nutty. I guess they've had a few incidents though. Um, there was like an incident at a South by Southwest show a few years ago, like 6 years ago, where somebody drove a car into one of the venues to like run
Wow.
people over.
Wow.
So the security was a
Pretty
little
dark.
tight.
Mm.
So we didn't really realize that. So we ended up showing up late, and then but Allison's Halo was great. I
Mm.
actually liked that set better than the one that they did in Dallas. Um, that could have to do with my wife not being pregnant at the time. So that could also be it. But like, I thought it was like, it was cool, especially, like never getting to see them sort of
Mm.
before they got back together. Um, just because I like, God, they were in like Arizona, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they're from Arizona. Yeah, yeah, and they only dropped one album, so I guess it's
Yeah,
quite hard to see them when they only drop one album.
yeah. I mean, they were one of those bands. I think when they put out the album, I was like out. I was living in Berkeley/Oakland, so where our mailbox was, which like I don't know who owned that. Like our landlord who owned the house must have gotten like double dipped taxes because our house and the yard
Yeah.
were in Oakland proper. So we lived in the bad part of Berkeley, but the night one of the nicer parts of Oakland at the time.
Wow.
Um, so my girlfriend at the time was into straight edge hardcore.
Mm.
So, so we didn't really I didn't really go out and see a lot of like
Yeah.
shoegaze shows or like even find out about them really.
Yeah, it's more like
Um,
Fugazi and stuff you were into.
yeah, that was what she was
Huh.
super into. So it was just like we just end up going
Yeah.
to those because like you end up like going out with somebody after you move somewhere like kind of early on you end up making friends in
Mm.
that social circle opposed to like a different one.
Mm. Can happen. Yeah.
So I just kind of stuck with those folks, although it was weird because a lot of the time I'd run into people who weirdly like a few people recognized me from like these public access movies I made as a kid.
All right. Nice. Yeah, it's
um
a bit like me. People recognize me from my channel.
yeah,
Like I literally
yeah.
went to that Kitchens of Distinction thing with Julian and Patrick, and people were like, "Oh yeah, you're the guy on YouTube." It just always makes me laugh. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
like,
mean, this is a little weirder because it's like public access, and I had done that when I was like in college in Connecticut
yeah,
at like one of the local public access channels, and then like I was out in California and somehow I ran into people that knew about those,
wow,
and this was
yeah,
like in the like early mid '90s.
yeah. That's like pre-internet. Yeah,
Yeah, so it was like very bizarre,
yeah,
and I
that
was
is
just like,
bizarre. Yeah,
how did you know about these? And
especially
apparently,
the
like somebody had
population.
shown them a tape, and I was just like, that's weird because this stuff was really dumb. It was just me and a friend on like college summer break that when we got bored.
Yeah, that's wild, especially when you consider the big population that you've got. Like, how did you stand out?
Yeah, I was just like, okay, were you talking about the movie where I played a weird
Yeah,
drug addict that like,
perhaps they were thinking about James Cameron, not Cameron Arth.
yeah, it was strange,
Yeah,
but
that's a cool story though. That's great. Your claim to
um,
fame.
yeah, let's hope that that wasn't.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't
although
just the 15 minutes. Yeah.
although thinking on it, I mean, it would be a pretty funny moment. Like, huh, that was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that's really
um,
cool. Yeah, by the way, yeah, going back to Addison's Halo, new EP dropping on the 31st of October.
yeah, they've been playing like some of the songs.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't think I've heard everything off of it. I think they're only playing two of the songs. Um, and they've been talking about like doing an
Yeah,
EP for a while. So
I was gonna say, yeah, I
I
think
don't even think at that point when the first time I heard them talk like at Levitation, I don't think they'd really even started doing much with it.
yeah, I was gonna
So
say
I
the EP just keeps them. It's been teased for years. I was wondering when they were gonna drop it, and here it is, finally,
yeah, it
finally.
may also be old. I
Hmm.
think that was like one of the things that I had heard from them was that it was like old
I, I, I
material.
I saw some posts they were recording some stuff on Studio One, so there must be some new tracks unless they managed to import the cassette tape data onto the Studio One DAW. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
there's definitely ways to do that.
it
It can
might
get a
be like the MBV album in 2013, where it's like a mix of older and newer stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
Although that's always scary trying to get things back from tape after a certain amount of time, just because the timing becomes less and less consistent.
mm.
Um, so that probably I imagine a lot of that stuff was probably recorded on like one of the cassette Tascams, like 12 track or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was a post that said they did it on the Tascam.
Yeah.
Only like a four tracker, I think. Um,
Ooh.
and they might have bounced. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember now. It was quite long ago. Maybe a six tracker. Anyway,
Yeah. I mean, but like,
that reminds me. I'm just gonna grab my Tascam and show you a second.
cool, cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So this is the one that's got USB connectivity on the side of it.
Yeah, mine does as well. I'm just sort of like I'm really dreading having to read through a manual of something, and I'm just like they're like, oh, assign a name to the project you're working on. This is like the thing that I'm working with, and I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna have to do scroll functions.
So yeah, you can see the USB connectivity there,
Oh wow,
just on the
mine
side.
mine has a bunch of different connectivity on the back of it. I think mine's like
Yeah,
a one that's like 3 years old now.
it's got like microline inputs and the volume for headphones. You got the speakers down there. Look,
Oh, it's got the little speakers.
yeah, you got some speakers, but you can just plug in at the top instead.
That's cool.
See those inputs there. So you can either use the mic line or you can use the just straight from the speakers.
Nice.
You can hold a mic up to the speakers. That's another way of recording.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm down with that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
but it's good.
yeah,
Yeah, it's got the bounce function at the top. There's no EQ or compression. It's literally just volume and panning. I think the panning is a good feature though. So I don't
yeah.
think all of them had pans, did they?
Well, so the original ones. Oh, wow. I'm trying to think. It's been so long. I think some of them like the nice. So like Tascam has this like habit of coming out with two versions of something, one being nice and then one being not very nice or stripped down. Um, so
Mm.
I think some of like the nice ones, like the 12 tracks, if I recall, like some of them had like the panning,
Mm.
but
Imagine how cool it would be if it had EQ and even effects on board. That would be good.
yeah, I think the one I have actually has like a built-in reverb.
Wow.